なるだろうと。
I think, you know, the whole, like, the first world is suffering is very self-indulgent. There's no reason to be unhappy, but I think everybody feels melancholia quite regularly.
その知らず知らずに、自己嫌悪に陥るみたいな言い方を今なさいましたけども、それはやっぱり今まであなたが歩んできた人生がそうさせるっていうことですか？
I think there's just something that you just feel is missing from your life. I think it's very difficult to trust people, very difficult to find any real emotion. I mean, my father is really, really happy, and his standard of living when he was my age was nothing compared to mine. And yet, you know, I sit in my house and I moan and complain, and he just doesn't understand. And I don't know why, but it's just the way our generation is, I suppose.
イギリスという国の社会がそう思わせるということでもあると。
I think so. I think in England it's so decaying. There's no real like idols or heroes anymore. The only thing people cling to is the past. And in Europe right now, England is desperately trying not to be part of the EEC. And it's got every reason why it should be, but it's got this overblown idea that it's still important, you know, that it still matters in the world. And it's like, it's, you know, it could be, you know, a third world country, you know, it's just doesn't matter to any fucker. I think so, and I think if you look at the last decade, most English bands have had no real impact on the rest of the world. It's always just been, you know, basically American bands. And it says a lot about, like, the Americanization of world culture. I think when we went shopping in Tokyo yesterday, and almost every shop was just full of, like, vintage American paraphernalia. I think the whole world is just being sanitized by, you know, American banality.
アメリカナイズというとイギリスのワイルドハーツっていうバンドがね、ターニングアメリカンという曲の中で、ブリティッシュロックはかつて映画を誇っていたけれども、今じゃもうすっかりアメリカの方ばっかり向いているというふうに嘆いていますよね。結構それ面白いなと私なんか思ったんですけども、あなた自身はどうですか？
No, I mean, I like the Wild Hearts, but I think again it's that classic English disease of thinking England was once great and now it's gone wrong. I mean, if you're in control of your own destiny, if you make good music, you make good music. If not, that song seems to me like it's saying, you know, England used to be good, so it's always got to be good. And I think you just got to judge music on, you know, what it is. You just got to judge a culture on what it produces. There's no point in saying that England was once, you know, an exciting place to be. It's not anymore. It's not anymore. I think maybe a band like the Smiths were more relevant than the Wild Hearts, just because they talked about the general like malaise and decay of the culture rather than celebrating its glory.
そういうあなたが子供の頃聴いてたロックと今とロックとになんか違いみたいなものは感じますか？
I think the problem with most English rock bands is that they won the bottle of Jack Daniels before they write a song. They won the leather trousers before the lyrics. And, you know, for us, music and words came first, and everything else was like secondary.
ではあなた方は今のキッズにとってどういう存在だと思いますか？
It's always difficult to judge. I think as long as there's one person in the audience every night, or one person that buys the album that understands us, that's enough for us. I know there's a lot of people in England that buy records just because they hear on the radio, they think it's a good song, they go and they play for a couple of days and that's as far as it goes. But at the same time, there's like a lot of people who just play music, you know, constantly, every day, just like we used to do with our favourite records. And as long as they don't go away, you know, we're quite happy to stay in a band.
マニックスはここまで非常に音楽的な面で順調に成長してきたなと私は思うんですけども、今後はどういうふうに成長していきたいですか？
Is to write a song like Motorcycle Emptiness, but make it 3 minutes long, to make it more simple, more economical with words, more accessible, more easier to understand. That's what we're trying to do.